This is the Loose Pass Rugby podcast, only on Megafoon Rugby.
Welcome to the Loose Pass episode. Time to talk to you, Griffin, again from HG Rugby. And somebody made a funny remark the other day. This channel is a channel of the either shiny domes, salt and pepper hair, or the man of the cheese cutter. And that's you now. Apparently, that's a New Zealand term I've never heard before. Have you?
No, I'd never heard it before either. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. No, I'd never heard it either. But it seems like it is a thing that they say down in New Zealand. So, okay.
Well, the interesting thing is where they said it. Tell me about that. That was quite a nice one.
I was very fortunate to get a shout out from Tony on the 2 Cents Gets Distracted podcast, which was very, very kind. It's a podcast that I really enjoy. I watch every episode. And yeah, it was just a very nice surprise. I actually got told about it before I seen it because I would have seen it by watching it, and my mind would have been blown. But I had a couple of people message me beforehand saying, "Hey, this happened." So I clipped it up and I put it out as a short on my channel of Tony saying some very nice things about me. And he also wears a flat cap, and I very much enjoy what he does. So it was a big thrill for me to get that acknowledgement from him.
Very first podcast you and I did, I think, if I remember correctly, I told you we call it an handicap cap in South Africa. There's a cartoon character called Andy Cap that always wear those things. So that's what I know it of. That's what I grew up with it. Anyway, enough talking about that now. Let's start with your jersey. Something red. I mean, it must be something Welsh, I suppose, for this weekend or what?
It's a Wales jersey, but not as we know it. So this is, as you can see here, on this side, that is not a WRU logo.
Oh, what does that mean?
What we have over here is an IRB logo. Remember them, kids? The IRB, the old name for World Rugby, and it says on it, Rugby World Cup 2003 Australia. Now, this was bought for me by my brother. When he was on tour in Australia, my brother is the lead guitar player in a band called Bruise Control, which you can find on Spotify. And
Bruise Control?
Yeah, Bruise Control, yes. It's like cruise control, but
I never knew that. I'm gonna check it out.
And so he saw it in a charity shop, I guess, somewhere. And my working theory, which I think is probably true, is that it's merchandise sold by World Rugby, or the IRB as they were known then, just as merchandise for the Rugby World Cup in Australia. Hence, it's not a replica Wales jersey. It is not WRU branded. It is not official WRU merchandise. But it is a Wales jersey. And it's got this cool sleeve.
Oh, yeah. Dragon and all. Okay.
Yeah, with the Welsh flag. So I assumed that every country had something like this. But this is the Welsh one. And I don't know whether this Wales jersey was ever actually sold in Wales, which makes it exciting.
I remember that World Cup. You guys gave us a bit of a scare there, if I remember correctly, 2003.
I don't know. That's before I started watching.
No, I'm lying. I'm thinking of 2011. Sorry, 2011. Got them mixed up now. Sorry for that. Anyway, it looks nice. Nice quality. It looks like a proper thick material and everything.
It is, and it's nice and long as well. It's a good fit. I like it.
Yeah. So going back to the quality days. I mean, those were the halcyon days. Is that the right pronunciation?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
And you guys were still a force to be reckoned with. And I'm saying that tongue in cheek. We'll talk about the Welsh team.
Actually, we were kind of rubbish then. We didn't get good until 2005.
Oh, I mean, at least, when you played Wales, there was always a chance that you might get a surprise. I mean, we lost against you guys when you guys opened the Millennium Stadium?
98 or 99?
Exactly.
I think in 98.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, that was a shocker. That was under Nick Mallet. And that just came after when we were challenging the record to break the most wins in a row, if I remember correctly. That's a big one. So, yeah, don't tell me you guys were rubbish.
You'd beaten us by 90 points like the game before, and then you came up to play us in Cardiff and you lost.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in the change room. Apparently, politics. The boss of South African Rugby flew over there and berated them and for, putting themselves above the game. And they were very upset about that. So that's what it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys still beat us. So don't tell me you were rubbish. So that's good. All right. I want to talk to you about Matt Williams quickly. I know you're not very amenable to my idea, but I want to talk about the fact that why are South Africans so outraged? What is this man? Number one, who is this man? And what did he say again this week? And what do you think of it?
Who is this man? He's some guy. He used to coach. He's an Australian. He used to coach Scotland, and now he's a pundit on Irish TV. That's who he is. What did he even say? Was it that, what's upset you? Is it that it's boring, or that it's vaguely against scrums, or that he's just everything that he says upsets you?
When you give someone a compliment and it's sort of a backhanded compliment, if that's the word. He was going on. Remember, he was all about the 7-1 benches against the spirit of the rules and blah, 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 blah. So this time he said, no, the Rassie, or the Springboks, took the rules to the limit. They did it legitimately, but it's still against the spirit of the game. And now, with the scrums are, again, he gave Rassie a compliment to say that, listen, Rassie didn't break the rules. He just took it to the maximum of where it could go. But the scrums are supposed to be a reset mechanism for the game. And in the old days, when he was coach and he was playing, it was a free kick and not a penalty kick. You should never be penalized for going backwards and the likes, because now that's again against the spirit of the game. And World Rugby, apparently, who he's spoken to, are very upset about the Springboks dominating the scrums like this. But they feel they're very frustrated because they can't do anything, because none of the countries that should do the vote or have the vote want to support changing the scrums. That's basically what he's saying. So you guys are doing it well, but it still sucks. That's what it is.
Oh, so he's complimented you wrong.
It's a backhanded compliment. We want full praise. We want to bask in the glory.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think of the fact that should scrums be a restart mechanism? Should it be a free kick only?
It's a fundamental worldview that no side will ever convince the other that the other is right. One side thinks that the scrum is the prologue to rugby. It is the thing that happens before rugby. And another side thinks that the scrum is rugby. I think that the scrum is rugby, but I also got a bit bored watching the Springboks do scrum after scrum after scrum after scrum on Ireland's goal line. So that's my take on it. Do I think the scrum should be depowered? No. Do I like the current refereeing trend, which protects weaker scrums? No, apart from when the Scarlets are playing, when we always have the weaker scrum, in which case it's great. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I also ask you, I want to hear an objective opinion. And typically you would, burst my bubble. You've once again managed to do that. So thank you for nothing. I thought I was going to get a sympathetic shoulder to cry on, yeah? But no, I'm kidding. It's interesting that this guy...
The most common comment that I get is, this guy is from the Northern Hemisphere, he's a Springbok hater.
I don't know where that comes from. Anyway, you're not a Springbok hater. I know you're not. You're not a Springbok supporter like we are. I mean, we're born and died in the wool Springbok supporters. You're not. Obviously, you're not born in South Africa. But I mean, you're not, against the Springboks, are you?
No, I'm not against anybody apart from England.
That's quite an interesting one for me. I mean, in my Afrikaans podcast with CJ van der Linde, I mentioned that you're my English friend, and you said something I can't remember what it was, and some guy, actually a good friend of mine, took me and says, you will take offense to the fact that I called you English. You're Welsh. And we talked about it last time. And I said, no. In my defense, I mean, you're English speaking. Does it make sense?
Yes. I had this on a video. Someone said to me, someone commented saying, don't worry about it, my English friend. And to be honest, I don't get too mad about that, because at the end of the day, I was born in England. I live in England. I sound English. So for people presuming that I am English, I don't mind. But that doesn't mean that I like the English rugby union team. Actually, obviously there's cricket on at the moment. I was talking to someone about this yesterday, about how my granddad, who was a very proud Welshman, hated England's rugby as much as anybody. He said that if England were playing in the street, he'd draw the curtains. But he was a cricket fan as well, and he had pictures of England cricket on his walls at home, paintings of them, because obviously it's the England and Wales Cricket Board, but he just called them England. So, it's complicated, isn't it?
That's quite
rugby,
interesting.
It's almost as if rugby isn't real life.
Why the antipathy towards the English rugby team as a matter of interest?
They're bastards.
Okay. All right. Can you put it any more succinctly?
I don't like them, Enver.
Yeah, well, we don't like them either. We've got a long history with them as well, as you probably know.
Wales' history with England is longer than South Africa's history.
No, sure. I understand.
That.
I understand, but I mean, we've got a proper one as well. Proper, rivalry. Let's call it that. Off the rugby field. Anyway, that's just a bit of fun and poking fun at Matt Williams, because I honestly don't take him seriously at all. It's one of those engagement farmers, let's call him that. Right. Player of the year. Before we go to the dream debate, I mean, there's not much debate here. We saw how happy the Springboks were in that dressing room. Victor Matfield and it's over the award for Malcolm Marx. Your thoughts on that?
It was weird, the timing of it being announced. You would think do it on the pitch or do it on like the Tuesday after. It feels like a Tuesday kind of a job. So to do it then is odd. And then Louis Bielbiere goes and scores 2 tries and gets 2 try assists against Australia whilst Malcolm Marx is celebrating in the changing room. Look, I've said it before, that I've been on this podcast with you talking about the Springboks every single game they played this season, and Malcolm Marx is a player that we've barely mentioned all season. But people have taken that decision. Okay, fine. I'm going to do what you're not supposed to do and say I don't really have that strong a view on it. I'm glad that he's happy about it. Is all I have to say.
You're a bit of a damn squib tonight. I can't get any reaction out of you. You saw me coming, I'm sure. Anyway, let's talk about the Rookie of the Year. We talked about it last week. Couldn't remember the name of Joseph Akusa Swahili, and you didn't win it. So Fabian Holland, you were a little surprised about that, I suppose.
Yeah, Fabian Holland got it. I guess the justification is that he is the one out of those. Well, no, Su'ali'i is first choice. But Fabian Holland is the one who has come into that team and made that jersey his own. And all of the All Blacks fans are liking him a lot. So that I guess is the thing about that. The other 2 nominees weren't first choice, haven't nailed down their positions, haven't had that much game time. So I guess, yeah, and the one strength of the All Blacks at the moment, probably before anything else, is their pack. And he's part of that strength. So I get it.
Interesting, because they've been a bit low on lock stocks since Sam Whitelock retired, Brodie Retallick retired. It's a good thing. Need All Blacks to be strong.
Brodie Retallick is technically still playing in Japan. I don't think he's actually retired.
But he can't play for the All Blacks, is what I'm getting at. He's not available anymore. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Dream Team of the Year. I said to you last week, and you sent me a thing. You said somebody said no Irish player will make the Springbok side, and we had a bit of a chuckle about that. So I want to ask you about that firstly, and then secondly, there's a saying in Afrikaans, which is not really Afrikaans lesson for this week, but it's a saying that says "Maak die bulle almal bokke," and what it means is make all the bulls Springboks. so why can't we just make all the Springboks the Dream Team of the Year, and prove me wrong?
No South African player is good enough to get in a Team of the Year. Now that I have your attention, the Springboks should probably be the full Team of the Year, yes. I just wanted to do that. I'm going to clip that up and turn that into a clip.
Yes, you're looking for trouble, bro.
The Team of the Year, probably you should, the way that I would do these things is I should always start with who is the best team and then do the obvious upgrades. Is there any obvious upgrades to the Springbok front row? No. I mean, the only one that you could debate is Thomas Tutoy or Wilco Low. So, which one do you want? Then into the second row, I think Ruan Norgia is maybe done a little bit hard done by, but I don't hate the Dan Burn. Dan Burn is a footballer, plays for Newcastle. Ty Burn inclusion. I think Maritoji deserves a spot, so I'm okay with that. The back row.
Sorry, Maritoji ahead of Eben Etzebeth. There's a matter of interest.
For 2020, for the most recent window period, yes. He captained the Lions, captained England, and England have gotten a lot better than under his captaincy. And he's really, really good at rugby.
No, he is. I was just interested to see that, because there's a bit of a consensus here that Eben should, but I agree with you. Eben didn't have the most stellar year. I'm sure I agree with you, yeah.
Yeah. And then you go into the back row. Who have they picked? They picked Peter Steph-Tutoy, who, again, is not a player that we've spoken tons about on this podcast, but probably is the best blindside in the world. I have a hard time believing that Tom Curry has played better than Siya Kolisi this year, to be honest. So you could very easily say that Siya Kolisi is the best. And I don't think that Harry Wilson has played better than Jasper Wiese. I think maybe that what counts against Jasper Wiese is how much game time he missed due to being banned. It's probably what has affected him there.
On Tom Curry, we talked about him in our instant reaction to that England-Argentina game. That player is now out. The guy that he tackled, I can't remember the name now. But
Juan Cruz Malia's ACL is gone out for 9 months.
And then he went and, knocked the Argentina coach about, or pushed him in the tunnel. What does that say about this guy? Is it again allegations that no one has seen, and
Look, Tom Curry's at the risk of getting a bit of a reputation here as a bit of a troublemaker. Obviously, we had the incidents in the World Cup semi-final, and now 2 incidents in the same game. So I've always thought that he was a bit Vidkant as well. Not Vidkant.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Vidkant. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. I'm happy you clarified that. A huge difference. You don't want to go there. Stay away. Stay away. That's volatile.
I always thought that he was a bit Vidkant. I've seen him play a few times where he tries to do these like Hollywood offloads. I'm like, and it goes wrong. I'm like, bro, the only reason that you tried that is because that you thought you could do it and you can't. So don't do that again. But he did play very well for the Lions. So so he needs to be careful, is all I should say.
Okay. And do you think he's better than Arie Sevilla?
No.
Do you think maybe they wanted to just get to a bit of a balance, so not all Springboks, all All Blacks or whatever, get it at least one from each side, suppose, or as many as you possibly can.
Maybe, I don't know, but why not Arie Sevilla? And how many other All Blacks actually got into the team? Just Will Jordan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Will Jordan's been the best fullback of the last 12 months. Anyway, I think that Juan Cruz Malia, I think that Blair Kinghorn, I think that if I want to be cool and edgy, Davitan Iniashvili from Georgia has got incredible stats this year. I think Tomo Ramos, I think they've all been better than him in this time period. I'm not saying he's a bad player. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think other players have stood out more than him over the last 12 months. Keep going back. Cam Roygard, has he definitely been better than Kobus Reinach? Obviously, Sashi got in.
There's your other All Black, by the way.
Cam Roygard, Who were the centres? Was it
Len Ikito and Hugh Jones?
Hugh Jones is a funny one. I can't see that, to be honest. I can't see that one. It's difficult. It's a difficult position to pick because the Springboks is picking kind of splits between Moody and Creel. France haven't really got a good outside centre. England have been chopping and changing their outside centres. I don't really want to pick Gary Ringrose. So you're struggling. Maybe if Su'Aliti got picked for Breakthrough of the Year, maybe he could have been in this. I don't know, maybe not. So it's a difficult one. I'm going to pick Dylan Riley from Japan to be interesting. And then back three, Cheslin's had a few iffy moments this year. He's had
a couple of brain fade moments. I remember we forget about those, but yeah, he definitely.
He's had a couple of good moments as well. LBB is non-negotiable. He had to be in.
I agree.
And then, like I said, I've said the fullbacks already. So yes, it is. I think if there had been 10 Springboks in there, struggle to argue.
Yeah, interesting enough. Right. Now on to you.
Can we do just the Ireland thing first?
Because, yeah,
sure. I said last week on the podcast that I think the wider points that I was making was that Ireland shouldn't beat the Springboks because there's nothing that Ireland are better than the Springboks at. And that was the point that I was making. And in order to help make that point, I was saying that of the Ireland team, there are maybe 5 or 6 players who get game time for the Springboks. And this has been interpreted as the greatest slander the Springboks has ever faced. And I got comments from people saying like that the handle was like at South African 123 saying our schoolboys are better than their first team players and thing. All of the classic ones. So right, let's sort this out, Enver. I'm going to go through the Ireland team, and you have to tell me whether they would get game time for the Springboks. I'm not saying that they would start for the Springboks against the All Blacks. Okay. I'm saying at some point in 2025, would Rassie have let them onto the pitch for the Springboks?
This Ireland team now, not the best Ireland team ever available. This one that played last Saturday.
This Ireland's team.
Okay, let's go.
Andrew Porter.
No.
Okay. Dan Sheehan.
Yes.
Yes, I agree as well. Someone said that Dan Sheehan wouldn't get game time for the Springboks. We've got Malcolm Marks. Like, doesn't play the full 80.
No,
guys.
No, Dan Sheehan is brilliant. He's brilliant. Okay. Him and Malcolm Marks, I mean, what a combination that would be. Whoever starts, whoever's off the bench, They're very good, both of them.
I think that Rassie would make Dan Sheehan a hybrid as well.
As a what? Auka and a
Maybe inside centre.
backline, not just a flanker or something.
I think he could play flanker, but I think that there's some players who I think that he could be utilised as a centre if need be in an emergency.
He's got an interesting story as well. Apparently, did you tell me he was injured, was supposed to be booted out of Leinster, and because he was injured, they couldn't. And now today he's probably the best player in the Irish team.
Yeah. Okay, Tyke Furlong?
No, never.
No, I don't think so either. James Ryan?
Yes. No, not James Ryan. No. The other one.
Okay. Tyke Byrne?
Yes, he would. Yeah.
I think Tyke Byrne makes the Springbok bench. I think he's in the bomb squad for the Springboks. Ryan Baird?
Yeah, I like him. Yes.
Okay.
Bench.
Okay.
I'm not talking about positions. I'm just saying, either good enough to start or whatever position on the bench. I like him on the bench. Yeah.
Josh van der Fleer?
He was born in Soweto, apparently. And he keeps telling me. I'm joking. Obviously, it's a joke, right? Because it's a sort of a Dutch surname.
Yeah.
Afrikaans surname. No, he will play of the year a couple of years ago, but I don't think he's been up to his usual standards. Not now. Not right now. No. What do you think?
I think that he gets an opportunity to play. I think he gets an opportunity to get some game time this year. If you look at, say, if Shatuka is getting a game, then I think Josh van der Fleer would probably get a game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe against Georgia or Italy or the Barbarians. Yes. Yeah, all right, that makes sense. Okay.
Caelan Doris.
Yes.
Jameson Gibson Park.
No.
Really?
Not this year's Jameson Gibson Park. Last year's Jameson Gibson Park, or the World Cup one. But it's not the same player that he used to be. He wasn't this year. Not what I've seen.
Okay. I'll give you a choice between Sam Prendergast and Jack Crowley. Neither.
Maybe if I add a push, maybe Jack Crowley. Definitely not Sam Prendergast. I don't think that guy has got what it takes, to be honest.
Bundi Aki.
No.
Really?
No, he's the same as Gibson Park. Not the Aki that he was 2 years ago. That's what I'm getting at. These players are sort of getting over the hill almost. I don't want to use the terms. I don't want to sound derogatory, but it's what I'm getting at. They're going it's a downward trajectory. That's what I'm getting. Aki is a classic example of that. It's a fighter. He's got a spirit and he's got a never say die attitude, but he's not the player that he used to be. That's my feeling. What do you think?
Yeah, you're probably right. Yes, you're probably right. Gary Ringrose.
I like him. I like him a lot, actually. Yeah. You?
I don't think he gets in ahead of Moody or Creel.
True, that's what we're discussing in that sense, no, but I still think he's a good player. Yeah, anyway, I agree with you. We're a bit spoiled for choice between Creel and Moody, aren't we?
Yeah. Okay. James Lowe.
Not a chance.
I think Rassie changes James Lowe position. James Lowe never plays for the Springboks on the wing in a million years.
Number one, he can't fit the scrum cap over his hair.
Mac Hansen.
Not a chance. No.
He just wear a scrum cap. And Hugo Keenan.
But Keenan didn't play.
Not at the weekend, but he is Ireland's first choice fullback.
That's why I said, are we talking about this past weekend's team, or are we talking about the best players available in Ireland?
Okay, I can't remember who played in the other wing for Ireland now.
Hansen played.
Oh, Tommy O'Brien. Okay.
Tommy O'Brien.
Tommy O'Brien.
No, ask Kane and Moody. No. Shame. I felt so sorry for that guy. That was a hell of a collision. That shame, man. Felt so sorry for him. Yeah.
That wasn't so bad. I was worried that might turn into the Monty Python cheese sketch, but you were actually quite open-minded.
I'm honestly, I'm open-minded. That's one of my best and worst characteristics. So yeah, there we go. No, interesting. I like that. Fun other thing. All right, are you ready to move on, or you still have a couple of scores to settle here?
I'm ready to move on.
I'm the one trying to settle scores, but you're not giving me any joy. So next time, I'm telling you. Right, Wales announced their team today, and I know Dewey Lake. And I might be exaggerating, but I know no one else. Dewey Lake. See, I can't even pronounce his name.
Like
Dewey.
egg.
Like what?
Like egg.
Dewey, like egg.
Dewey.
The Airwee. Dewey.
Dewey. Yes.
Oh, my word. All right, that guy. It's the only one I know in that team. Talk to me about that. What can we
You can
expect?
start a fight in Wales by going into a pub and saying Dewi wrong. He gets Dowie, he gets Dewey.
Because I said
It's a
TV
nightmare.
in South Africa, they said Dowie. I promise you, that's how they pronounce it.
and they
That's what
said
I
it wrong.
heard. Yeah.
What do you want me to say? It's
No,
wrong. It's
I'm willing to
Dewi.
learn, man. I'm here to learn. I'm teaching you
telling you,
Afrikaans for that matter. So.
All right. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to just jump ahead a little bit. I just said
Coming
now,
back.
this is a very unfamiliar team. Dewi Lake. It's the only one I know. Tane Plumtree, obviously we know, is John Plumtree's son, and he's got a bit of a reputation as a hothead. I think Aaron Wainwright I know. And forgive me if I don't know many of the other ones. I can't really see someone. Ben Thomas, I think, it rings a bell somewhere, faintly. Who else is there? What's this team like?
So this is the Wales team without any foreign-based players, which used to be not so much a problem for Wales because we only had a couple in the squad. But in recent years, it's ballooned up to a third of the squad is now not playing its club rugby in Wales, which means that this test being outside of the international window, we cannot call upon them and select them, which means that we have a different loose heads. We have two different second rows. Both of our second rows play abroad. So we brought in Ben Carter and Rhys Davis. That's probably the most interesting part of the team in terms of how they go, because there's a lot of debate. And I can't say what the debate is about because I alluded to it on Blue Sky. I did not even name the player directly on Blue Sky the other day. And I got so much crap.
On Blue Sky nogal, which is supposed to be the friendly place.
Yeah. So I shan't, but I'm interested to see how these other second rows go. That's what I should say. Tane Plumtree playing at 6, I think, is his best position. Aaron Wainwright coming in.
That's now overseas 6 now. That's a blind side.
Yes, there's a blind side.
Okay.
And then Alex Mann.
Yeah, it's 7
Sorry.
now. Yeah,
yes, Alex Mann's playing 7. He is normally a blind side. He's playing open side. I never really rated Alex Mann that much, but I've looked at his stats for this autumn and they're very good. So now I'm sorry to Alex Mann. And Aaron Wainwright, I think, is a better 8 than Tane Plumtree. Kieran Hardy is kind of. There's a big difference between Thomas Williams and Kieran Hardy at 9. Dan Edwards, I think, is a player with clear positives, but I would, when you're watching Dan Edwards, watch when and where he gets the ball, because it's very rarely where you would normally expect a 10 to be getting the ball. He pops up in all sorts of strange places. So keep an eye out for that. And the key thing about Wales' attack is that the 12 is a second playmaker, and they've gone in hard on that. And the whole rest of the team is built around the 12 being a second playmaker. Okay, so Joe Hawkins, who's playing 12, is also playing 10 for the Scarlets. And then outside him, you've got Joe Roberts, who in my opinion is the best outside centre in Wales. He does play for the Scarlets, so I am biased, but it's the general consensus that as a 13, he is the best outside centre in Wales. And then into the back three, you've got Rio Dyers come back in for Louis Rees. For Louis Rees-Zammit, I think, who plays for Bristol, so he's not available. Tom Rogers, who scored a hat-trick against the All Blacks, is injured. So Ellis Mee comes in, another Scarlets player. Honestly, he's not in the best form at the moment, but he is tall, and he is a smart player. He's got good rugby IQ. He's a little bit out of form, and there Blair Murray, the fullback, is probably our most dangerous attacking player, but is suspect in the air at the moment. But the other big talking point from this team, Enveyor, is that you've got a 10 wearing 10, you've got a 10 wearing 12, then you've got a 10 wearing 22, and then you've got another 10 wearing 23 in this Wales team. In Ben Thomas, who has played fly half internationally for Wales. So we've got 4 fly halves in the 23.
All right. What's your general impression of this team, your opinion of it? Is it good enough? Are they going to be unto hiding for nothing, or do they stand any chance against the Springbok physio and baggage handler that's going to be selected to this team this week?
No, they do not stand a chance now.
But so that brings me neatly to the Afrikaans term for this week. And that term is 'n lam ter slagting.
Oh God, that's a hard one.
Say it. It's 3 words. Lam ter slagting.
Slachten.
Yeah, it means lamb to the slaughter.
That's another one of those ones that's quite close to the English, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Lumtesloch. That actually it sounds quite Welsh, actually.
Just again, yeah,
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
Lumteslochte.
Lamterslachting.
Lamteslochten.
Yeah, slachting.
Actually sounds
SLAG.
Scottish when you say it like that.
Yeah, it does it.
Sound,
It does a bit, yeah. So it's
it sounds
the slag and then ting, and it's just the slag is a spelling, so it's slag and then
slach
ting.
ten.
Lam is lamb.
Lum.
It's ter, and then slaughter is slachten.
It sounds like it sounds like what they say when they address the haggis on Robbie Burns nights.
Sounds like a what do you call it, a hoagie? What's it?
It does sound quite Gaelic. It does kind of sound quite Scots. But yes, there's a lot of people very unhappy in Wales about this game taking place.
Yeah, talk to me about that. Against, sorry to interrupt you. Outside the window, the URC teams are playing this weekend, and now they have to give up their best players or some of their best players. I mean, that's a bit of a brain fade moment, maybe. What's the story?
Well, the argument is that the WRU need the money, so they're putting on a big game, and they want a big opposition to draw lots of ticket sales. So rather than do what Scotland do and play like the USA or Tonga, which is probably who we should be playing, and to be fair, Scotland actually do shift the tickets for those games, Wales, but that still wouldn't solve the problem of the regions being without their best players for the next round of the URC. So yeah, so people are kind of going, why are we doing this? And like I said, if the point is to sell tickets, the report last week was that they're struggling to sell them, that 30,000 tickets have been sold. And then there was another report that for the Argentina game, they gave away 15,000 tickets for free. And at the All Blacks game, I know of at least a dozen people who went for free. And I'm going to this game of Wales against the Springboks for free, courtesy of Paul. Thank you, Paul. So, and by the way, the people who are going for free are proudly boasting, I did not pay for my ticket and I did not spend any money in the shop.
Okay, sure. So it's basically defeats the object of the exercise, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
But
that's something that I'm going to be looking. So I'm going to do a video of it this weekend, and something that I'm going to be looking out for is basically who is going to this game, why are they going, what are the motivations, how do they feel at the game, what's the atmosphere like, what's it like going to a Wales game these days when it's so miserable, not just because the team is losing, but because of everything that's happening in the background as well. So that's going to be the question that I have in my pocket as I make the 2-hour drive to Cardiff on Saturday.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you could have attended the Springbok dinner tomorrow night, but no. Better things to do, I suppose, like work.
Yeah. Yes, like work.
All right, you and I are going to do a bit of a live thing next week, a live stream of the actual draw. We'll work out the details and let you know when it is. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a lot of homework for us to do the graphics and stuff beforehand and have a bit of guesswork, I suppose. And you're going to keep us entertained and enthralled with your inside knowledge of each team. Looking forward to that. What do you think?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to the draw. I'm looking forward to seeing how these pools go. I hope there is a pool of death, because I'm a little bit worried about it being a bit of a walkover at the pool stages, to be honest. But no, I am very much looking forward to it. Yes.
You said something this week about the pool games in the Women's World Cup all being sort of walkovers, and there's a very real danger that might happen in the men's game again. Just talk to me about that quickly.
Well, yeah, because it's like one of the top six, then one of 6th to 7th to 12th, and then one of 13th to 18th. You could have a pool, for example, of the All Blacks, Wales, Tonga, Hong Kong, China. And I don't think any of the games in that pool would be competitive. So that's what could, and because it's only 4 games now, there's kind of, now only 3 games in the pool stage.
Plus around 16.
Less need to rotate. And what that could also mean is, because 4 of the best third place teams get through, it could mean that you have something like the Springboks playing against Spain in a World Cup knockout match.
Okay. Yeah.
Which mightn't be the best TV.
Scrum fest, apparently. No, I'm kidding. Right, let's talk about the 3 games to watch this weekend. Look, apart from the Springbok Wales, only international games, so that's a given. So it doesn't count for the 3. What else have we got?
Yes. My pen. 3 URC games that you must watch this week. Number 1, Bulls versus Lions. So you could talk to me a little about this. What do they call this? The derby? The
Yukskei Derby.
Yukskei Derby.
There's the river between Joburg and Pretoria called the Yukskei. So it's the 2 sides of the river. That's why it's called Yukskei. Yeah.
So yes, so it's a South African derby, and form always goes out of the window on derbies. Do you hate the Lions? I know they hate you.
No, they're actually my second team.
Huh.
Was it close by? I have a good relationship with one of these supporter clubs on Facebook. There's supporters that support this channel quite a lot. No, I like them. I just don't think they're being run very well. I don't think they're being managed very well. I don't think they're being coached very well. But I mean, still a side of a long history. So yeah, I do like them. But obviously, when they play against the Bulls, it's a no-brainer. Yeah.
It should be a Bulls win. Yes, that's at midday UK time.
2 o'clock,
that one kicks
South
off.
African. And we've got 10 tickets to give away that we've probably given away by the time this goes out. But yeah, thank you to the Bulls.
Okay, yeah, so that's game number 1. Game number 2, which is the big game of the weekend, is Munster versus Stormers. Someone's must go to the 2 undefeated sides, the 2 top of the table sides. Obviously, both teams coming fresh off international break, so how Munster don't lose that many players to international duty, so maybe that favours them. Of course, the Stormers don't lose that many either, but the ones that they lose are really good, like Kobus Rydak and Damian Willemse and Shasha Feinberg and Gomazulu. And they haven't actually signed Damien Lende back yet, so we can't count him. So because it's in Munster, you would say that Munster are favourites, but Stormers have been very impressive, probably the most impressive team in the league this year. So that's definitely the game of the weekend. That's the big one. That's the one that everyone's going to be talking about. That's the one that's going to be on all of the thumbnails next week. And then finally, I've got a bit of a job to pick one from the rest of the fixtures, and I've gone for Zebra Cardiff in the end. So Zebra have a good record against Welsh regions at home in Palma. Cardiff are going to be missing a lot of players away with Wales duty. Zebra should get all of their Italian internationals back for this one. It's at 1 o'clock UK time. So 3 o'clock South African time, 2 o'clock Italian time, or maybe 3 o'clock Italian time as well. But Cardiff have had a good start to the season. If they can get a win here, I think it's a great result for them. Zebra aren't the pushovers they used to be, but it's a great result for Zebra, and it would mean that they would have won 3 games already this season in the first 6 rounds, which is fantastic for them. You wouldn't have thought that a couple of seasons ago.
All right. That Cardiff one, I think, is going to be a bit of a problem. That's exactly where they're going to feel not having their best players because of this international against the Springboks. This daft one. Anyway, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good as always. Appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Okay, talk to you soon.
This is the Loose Pass Rugby podcast, only on Megaphone Rugby.